Good morning and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. I'm Tayo Salai.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. We get started with Nigeria Professional Football League mid-season, and you know the champions. Should we call them champions? I'm talking of Plateau United. They won their game 3-0 in the mid-season, and at the end of the day, they are top with 34 points and also have 2 games in hand.
Cecilia, they are the most, they've been the most consistent side this season, so you'd say they deserve to be on top. Still a long way to go. I know the coach, Kennedy Boboyi, has been on record saying we're not really going for the title, but after 18 games and you're on top, you start to think about it.
Yeah, you have to dream.
Human nature.
You just have to dream. Be a Leicester and dream. Right, and so on the program, we're talking about the UEFA Champions League semi-finalists all set, and no Barcelona for the 2nd season in a row. Juve, Monaco, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid.
That's it.
And you know the way we have the logo: Monaco, Real Madrid, Juve.
You think that's how, how the draw is going to come
Monaco, Real Madrid, Juve, and Atletico Madrid. Best of attack, best of defense, all coming together. Okay. That's what I think.
For Barcelona, no surprises there for me. I mean, we talked about how Juventus, they're defensive and juggernaut, and it's very difficult to score against them. So to see that Barcelona attack featuring Messi, Neymar, Suarez, failing to score one single goal against Juventus in 2 matches just tells the story. So last four standing, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Monaco. Monaco looks like they're the surprising side in that particular.
The outsider, the 4th time they are getting to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. The only French team to do that.
Okay, let's move on now. Let's talk basketball, the NBA playoffs. It is hotting up, and Cecilia, Russell Westbrook just this morning recorded an historic triple-double, but it was in vain because the Houston Rockets still found a way to win that particular matchup. He ended 115-111 in favor of the Houston Rockets, led by James Harden. And it's now that the situation is the OKC Thunder are down 0-2 in that particular matchup. Cecilia, I mean,
it was going to be tough.
It was going to
be very tough.
Right?
Yes.
Before we continue and come back and talk about what actually happened, I mean, Russell Westbrook, incredible performance, but wasn't good enough. Let's go through some of the other results from the NBA playoffs. Just 3 games were concluded this morning. We'll start out with the matchup between the Washington Wizards versus the Atlanta Hawks, and it ended 109-101 in favor of the Wizards. Bradley Beal scored 16 of his 31 points in the 4th quarter in that game, and that means the Wizards now lead the series 2-0. So Cecilia, 2-0 up. They go back to Atlanta. Do you think the Hawks will bounce back somehow?
It's going to be hard because I think the way John Wall is actually playing, had 32 points, and then Bradley Beal had 16 of his 30 quarter, and outclassing Atlanta Hawks. The way they're playing, they're fit and they're on fire. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but they're going back to Atlanta, so now
we know that, but then home court
surely plays a role. So
it does.
Yeah.
But it does, because if you check the series opener on Sunday, they won 114 and 107. John Wall also have 32 points and 14 assists. So it shows that he's playing very well. But Hawks, I don't know if they can actually step up. But then we just give them that benefit of doubt. Maybe they can.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they can. Elsewhere, we saw the Portland Trail Blazers lose scandalously. Okay, not really a scandalous loss, but it was a proper beatdown from the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are without Kevin Durant, who was injured. They didn't have Sean Livingston, who was injured as well. So Klay Thompson and Steph Curry combined for just 35 points. They struggled from the field, but the Warriors still found a way to win because the bench guys like Iron Clark, JaVale McGill, David West, Andre Iguodala all contributed decent numbers from the bench, and that's very ominous for the Blazers right here. I mean, no KD.
No problem.
No problem. Curry struggling from the field. Klay Thompson struggling from the field. And they still come up with this kind of scoreline. 110-81.
That's by as much as 19 points. That's how they won. It tells you the depth that they have. Maybe we're just going to be having a blowout.
Right? But
I'm thinking along that line now.
Yeah, like I said, for the Atlanta Hawks and Cecilia, they go back home home comfort at times has a way, of pushing our team to victory. So let's see if the fans at Moda Center can actually help the Blazers get back in the series. Game of the night, matchup of the night, MVP front runners, James Harden versus the triple-double phenom Russell Westbrook. And they ended 115-111 in favor of the Rockets, who now lead the series 2-0. Russell Westbrook was on fire in this game. Historic triple-double. He finished with 51 points. Incredible, right?
Incredible.
But look at that number in brackets. 17 of 43 from the field. Not good at all. That's very, very bad shooting night for Russell Westbrook. He grabbed 10 rebounds and recorded 13 assists. But it wasn't enough because James Harden led his team, scoring 35 points to lead them to that 115-111 victory. And it's a 2-0 series lead for the Rockets. Cecilia, after the game, Russell Westbrook was a very disappointed guy. He wasn't happy at all, despite the fact that he had another terrific
It's not about him right now because, we talked about the fact that the regular MVP, it's about individual. Usually they look at your performance and contribution to the team, but basically your performance. But now you have the playoffs. If you're having someone who had 42 in the regular season, now how many? Okay, I've lost count now. We have 42 in regular season, and he's having another one. That's not 43, right? 43, triple-double in a season. And at the end of the day, you really can lead your team at least to the second round. You ask yourself, what's the issue? I think maybe that's the reason he's really not happy.
Of course,
now they're 2 games down, best-of-7 series in the Eastern Conference series, in the Western Conference series. So it tells you a whole lot about this team, that maybe he feels he's not doing really enough. But if you have 51 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds, I think other players can actually step up and see how they can also contribute to the team. Well, Friday night, Oklahoma City, that's where the games return. So we'll see what's going to happen there.
So somehow they have to get back in the series with a win.
That's
the only way. because as it is right now, it's not looking good for the OKC Thunder. Actually, in this game, they led for a while, and they just double digits lead, actually, but they let that slip. And the Rockets took full advantage, and that's why they are 2 games up right now. So that's it for the NBA playoffs. The fixtures for today: game 3, I beg your pardon, game 3 tonight.